Hi, welcome back to a brand new coffee tech break session with Jan, and good to see you back again. So, in my last videos, I did unboxing of the G series, the new Microsoft Teams room system. I did the building of, so with all the components, the VESA plate, etc. Today, I actually gonna set it up. So I will hook up all the required components to show you the installation wizard to get started quickly. Uh, Now, what is required to get started? First of all, the GC8, and that is the one which is your control. We have the cable between the GC8, one single fiber cable between the GC8 and the compute, and of course we have the compute. This runs the Windows IoT edition with the Teams room system software. Of course, we got the power supplies for those different components. So the GC8 needs a separate power supply, and of course your compute. Now, what else do you need? Make sure you got a USB keyboard and mouse. And that makes sense to get started quickly so you can type in any naming, etc., or use your mouse to walk through the wizard. And of course, a screen so you can see everything what's going on. Now, let me show you quickly the different connectors that different devices have. I think that will be a good idea. So first of all, the GC8. And so what connectors just the GC8 has? Now, there is a plate underneath GC8. So what you need to do is you take a small screwdriver, you release it, and there is a bit of a trick. If you put it like this, and you hold the two sides, you can release it. And so the screw, there's a very small screw in here, so this one will fall back, and then you can easily release it. Now, what is underneath? So let me show you quickly. What we have is we have the power supply, we got the USB A here. This is for if you got a trio on the table or something. We have here the mini HDMI, so this will go to a regular HDMI input from a laptop or somebody who's walking into the room. And we got here the USB-C. And the USB-C is the one which will be used for the fiber cable to the compute. So these are the connectors on the GC8. Very easy. And I will show you in a bit how to connect everything. Now, what do we have on the compute? Just to run it quickly through. So we have here a USB connector. You can connect all kinds of devices, USB-C. We got analog inputs and outputs, but probably you don't need them because most of the certified Teams devices are using C and A. We got here the power on and off. Now, on the other side, really excited because here we see that everything is built into the device. So you see here the power. We got here display port, which is not used at the moment. We have a USB port. We got HDMI. This is first screen, so HDMI 1. We got USB for devices, USB, and so also for your keyboard and mouse. Here we have the LAN, and we got here the antenna. So there's a very small antenna coming in the package. So in case you want to use the antenna, that is possible, but it's not recommended. It's recommended to use the LAN as that's much more stable and secure. Now, there's one other one here at the top, and this is the HDMI screen 2. So everything here is directly based on HDMI. So screen 1 and 2, you can connect them directly onto the tiny PC. So I think that's very, very powerful. And that's it. These are all the components you need. Now, how you get started is you grab your USB keyboard, you grab your USB mouse, and hook them up onto the computer. So we will be using the back side of the computer to attach those devices in here. right? So we will attach them. So we have now two devices attached. What we also need, of course, is an HDMI. So we have an HDMI cable comes from that screen. So I will put that into screen output 1. Now we need power. So of course the compute needs power. So let me put that already in there. Same for the GC8. So let me take that plate off and put also power in here. And you see here behind me the GC8, the G series, is already booting up, as you can see. Also, I need to connect the optical USB fiber cable. So I'm using that right here, putting it into that USB-C port mentioned earlier. Same for the USB-A. I connect that also here into the compute. All right. So I got connected all the devices, keyboard and mouse. So it's always an exciting moment if they work, but they do. That's really good. Now, continue with selected languages. So asking me to select the language. Uh, don't forget, which I didn't put in yet, is the LAN port, a very important one. So we need to, of course, have a LAN port to get it updated. So let me put that one also in here. All right, very important because LAN will give us access to the Windows services, to all the updates, because it's always in a warehouse at some point of time. And so those products come out, and most of the times they just need an update, just like your PC, I guess. So if it is started, we need to put in the language, which I will do right now. We put it to English, a yes, and we just walk through the different components, and we might be able to change something later on. So let's start with your regions. Let me also leave it to United States. All right, how's the keyboard layout? That's still a US keyboard layout. Okay, you want to add a second keyboard, we'll skip that. Okay, so as you'll see, probably it will try to connect to the internet now, as you usually do when you setting up a Windows PC and try to get some updates. So I can see that it's, yeah, the LAN is blinkering on the back, so it has connection to the internet there. So in case it needs to have some updates, we'll do that. And afterwards, which I guess is also important for any PC, we just go to the Windows services, and yeah, we just retrieve any updates we can get. So approximately after 1 or 2 minutes, and I saw two reboots, you got it running. So I got here time on my screen. So at least I got something. And also the GC8 came to alive. So as you can see here, let me show you. It shows you now the wizard to walk it through. So that will probably be, and I think most of the people are familiar with those wizards. So we just run it through, put here the ELA. So here we need to put in the the team's room account. So let me do that quickly. So after filling in the information of the account, and I use the keyboard here as I think that's the easiest to get started quickly. Well, the next step you do is you got here your settings there, so you can set it to use Skype for Business and the Teams client, or to use only the Teams client, or at least at the default, and use then Microsoft Skype for Business in case you still got that. So it can always fall back to Skype for Business if needed. That's all built into this. You can turn on modern authentication if you want. Now, then you next. Here you can fill in some additional information if needed. with your environment as a domain, etc. And then we're ready to go. It's finished. And here on the top, by the way, you see also the app version. So as you can see, it will need some updates to get all those additional new features. And we say finish. So now the system will probably reboot and log in. So let me wait a little bit. So after a quick reboot, as you can see, the system is already ready to go. So the GC8 is showing me now the panel. As you can see, it's showing me the MTR, and it, yeah, as I said, it looks very slick and very nice. 8-inch, and so not that huge on the table. So for big rooms or small rooms, it's pretty nice. Also, and we have here the proximity sensor. And so in case people walk into the room, the touch panel and the screen will automatically wake up. And so probably I will do some other videos on that, but just want to show you how easy it is to get started with the G series. Now you see already my invite, which I send out via Teams, and that is all working. So the Exchange integration, so you can set up a new meeting, you can present. So in case you hook up the HDMI cable to the GC8 with your computer. Now under more, and this is probably a software version which still needs to update it. So under more, you have some options. You can invite this room. You can set some accessibility settings. You can restart the device or go to settings. Now, and volume control here. Now, if you go to settings, you got a basic password, and that is SFB. That is the default password there, which you might want to change. And then you go into the menu. Now, as you can see, I'm running in 4441, so I really need to do some updates. But just to quickly give you an impression, account, so you can find here all the information of the accounts which you just set up. You can change something. On advanced, you see those settings, meetings, and so you can set to automatically screen sharing here. So if you hook up the HDMI cable will automatically start sharing, and you can also turn it off. You can show meeting names or leave the meeting if everybody has left the meeting. So there are some features which you can set here, and also on the device you can use the Bluetooth beaconing and turn that on and off. So that is for the proximity support. So if you walk into the room, you can transfer your call from your laptop onto this device. I showed that also earlier with the collab bar. You can swap screens if you want, and here you find your peripherals. So you can set your microphone, speaker. So for the studio USB, and you can configure all those components right here. If you got a content camera, you can select that. Also, you can set a theme, and then I understand you can also do now your own background if you want, but you need to load that into the software. Yeah, that's it. And you can reset. So in case, for me, if I use this with customers, proof of concepts, we'll probably do a reset to make sure it is all back to the basics again. Now, my next step now is running the updates and to make sure I have that latest version, and I'll probably do a next coffee session to show you that latest version, which has, I think it has coordinated join and some other great features which are added. Now, what I need to do is I go to Windows settings and same thing. So I log in here, go to administrator, and that's the same password. And so please change those passwords. Uh, so you log in now into the Windows piece of this device. It's connected to a network, so that's good. I go to the Windows updates. We go right here, update, and we just make sure we're gonna check for updates and just do those updates the coming hour and run that through. So as you can see, it found some updates. So we'll make sure to get all those updates. It's all loading. Make sure it's a bit bigger. All right. And here it goes. It's getting all the updates now. Just leave it probably for a couple of hours, run through the updates, and we have the latest. But I will walk you that through again in the later coffee tech break session. This one specifically, I wanted to show you how to set it all up. Hopefully it was helpful. And yeah, I'm already looking forward to the next coffee tech break session. And yeah, thank you for watching.